What's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the Discraft Archer. This is the first run. It's 175 grams in the Z plastic. Big thank you to Chris Caulfield from Aloha Disc Golf for sponsoring this review. He's a great friend, supporter of the channel, and he sent me a bunch of plastic to test and review, so I appreciate his support. You can find his channel in the description below. He'll be doing some giveaways and reviews, mail call videos, and he'll also be documenting his first tournament season, playing tournament disc golf in Hawaii. So go check out his channel, show him some support. I appreciate it, and thanks to you guys for watching. Let's get into the review. So, first run Archer. Absolutely love the stamp on this thing. The lettering is phenomenal. I love the Z plastic circle Z stamps on these discs. They're just always rad. I love the lettering that they use. I love the way they all look together. Just really a really great design concept. I think it's perfect. This particular logo with the lettering is just phenomenal. I love it. It kind of reminds me of it's like an old video game I'm thinking of from NES where you're like, it's like chess and you fight or whatever. It has nothing to do with the review. It reminds me of something like some kind of video game lettering or something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I love the way it looks. First run driver, Z plastic. There's your flight rating from Discraft, although you know it's very different than the other flight rating systems out there. There's Discraft logo. I love the kind of textured foil stamp on this guy. It's really beautiful and great looking disc. I love the super bright Z plastic. The Z plastic is well documented here on my channel as well. It is one of the most durable plastic blends on the market. The stuff takes a tremendous beating before it starts to break in, and if you don't smash a lot of trees with it, it basically won't break in. It'll just continue to fly almost exactly the same. One of the tremendous things about Discraft that I've always loved about them is that if you lose a Discraft disc, you go buy another Z Archer off the shelf, especially if you get it in the same color and same weight, it's probably going to fly almost exactly the same. They're just really consistent, and I've always loved that, so shout out to Discraft for continuing that. Let's take a look at the rim profile on this guy. It is a pretty comfortable disc. It's listed as a driver. I would say it's a little bit faster than a mid-range, but a little bit slower than a fairway, maybe a speed 6 or so, maybe a little bit close, maybe a 7. It's a little bit hard to say. It doesn't really matter. It's really just about the flight. It's got a bead there, so that's nice, and it's got kind of a mid-range type shape. Z plastic has a good feel to it, but it's mostly just that bright color, durability, but not a bad grip, but not the best on the market. But the durability is tremendous, and they always look great. Let's start up next to a Buzz. This is a Groove Top Buzz, just to give you an idea of the difference in rim profile. So you can see that even though they're not hugely different in speed, they definitely have a different shape. There's more of a driver type shape to the Archer for sure. Good feeling disc in the hand though. It's got a nice smaller rim, so this would be a great disc for beginners, maybe women or younger folks, or just folks with smaller hands that don't like that big rim feel. This is a great disc for you to check out. I also think in flight this would be a really great disc for a beginner as well. It's a little bit more stable than I expected, and it really just tends to hold the line quite well. It's not something you're going to want to throw on a hyzer per se unless you're just starting out. For me, if I hyzer flip it, it just stands up flat and just goes for a long way on a super straight line. But I still think it would be a great disc for a beginner because it's got that small rim. It's got a very straight, kind of neutral flight path to it that I think will show you what you're doing with your form quite well. If you throw it nice and flat as a beginner, it should go very straight for you. And then as you kind of progress with your skill level, it should start kind of flipping and turning a little bit more to the right. Then you can kind of throw it on some hyzer angles, and it's just a really nice kind of understable utility disc. It's not something that flies super far, but it does have good glide and good distance for its speed. It's something I can get a good driver flight out of it in terms of distance, but not something I'm going to throw as far as a higher speed disc, of course. Holds a turnover quite well. It's not going to turn and burn on you too hard. It's not something that turns so dramatically where it's going to really just kind of turn and roll out on you. This one will hold a nice kind of smooth turnover. Hyzer flip it to just dead flat, straight shots, and also a great roller disc. You can get this thing down on a roller quite easily. I'm not very good at rollers. The angle is kind of awkward for my shoulders, but I can get this thing down on the roller very nice, and it rolls for a long way. It's got a good shape for that. The way they describe this disc is it's kind of like the Stratus, which is a staple for old school Discraft players, but it is a different rim shape, which allows it to be molded in the higher quality plastic like the Z plastic much easier and much more consistently. So if you like the Stratus, this could be a great disc for you to check out. But ultimately, just a really nice straight flying disc, very neutral, that you can throw for nice rollers, turnovers, hyzer flip to flat, straight shots. Just a good understable utility control disc. I like it very much. Thanks very much to you guys for watching. I'll check you later. Cheers.